Let's see. Oh, the stream is starting on YouTube. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us on the live stream. Live stream is coming up right now. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna check to see what we have here and find out. Go to the chat. Okay, so the chat is on. This way I can see what all you people are writing. And we'll get started with the show in just a minute. All right. Thanks everyone for hanging in here. We're going to get started in just 1 second. I just want to make sure that everything is up and running. Thank you so much for joining today. And we do have a visitor here. Ang30111 is here. Sandy's here. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. We're going to get the show started in just about 30 seconds. I'm going to get everything finished set up on my side. I got Morgan on my side here. Am I pointing the right way? Is it this way?
I think yeah.
All right. Speedy Ultra's here. Tiffany. Boudreau. Oh, that's a nice French name. I like that. Boudreau. Boudreau. Shouldn't there be an X at the end of that? Those fancy French names. Boudreau. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I'm butchering your name. All right. Let's get on with the show. Here we go. Elliot Feld's in the house. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 34 of Around the Kingdom, a Disney Magic Kingdoms podcast by a guy who's one jump ahead of the breadline. Coming to you from the Sultan's Palace, I'm your host, Steve Squirrel, and sitting in my co-host chair this evening, we have Morgan Bledsoe, awesome content creator for Around the Kingdom Facebook page, who's here to create some even more awesome content.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you to each and every one of you for joining us this week as we explore the wonderful world of Disney Magic Kingdoms. Before we get started, I want to thank our Patreons Carrie Schumann, Kathy Clausen, Honeybee, Kira, and Tom Higgins. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a site where you can pledge a few bucks each month to help support the show. So, if you're able to and you want to help support the show, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/AroundTheKingdom. There are other ways you can be more involved with the show also. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And we have a very active Facebook group, and it's a great way to stay in touch with me and the community of the show. The links to everything will be in the show notes and can also be found on the show's main Facebook page. The kingdom is always changing, so for reference, this show is being recorded and broadcast live on YouTube on Wednesday, June 5th at around 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. All right, whew, we got all the introductions out of the way. We are ready to rock and roll. It's time to go around the kingdom. What's going on, Morgan? How's your week been?
My week has been so busy. I welcomed Michael, and I got him to level 3, so I'm pretty proud of that. Then I unlocked the land for Dumbo, but I'm holding off on that because I want to save more magic. And I welcome Raja. I'm leveling. I am 73 characters behind on leveling.
Oh, no.
So I am grinding magic to pay for that and to pay for now my new land.
Yeah.
A lot going on.
Yeah, well, you got Michael. We both started Michael at the same time, but you were smart enough to jump on the jumping jellyfish.
Yep.
Way ahead of me. As everyone knows, I was a little skeptical for about a week. And in that time, that gave you the definite advantage to beat me in the Michael Darling Welcome race.
It only took me 2 weeks. I actually went back earlier today to see when we started, and it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's fast. So I'm still working on it. I'm still got I think 7 more years. So you are definitely way ahead of me. His ears seem way harder than any other legendary drop in the game.
You know what though? When I actually just leveled him up to 3 like an hour ago, and the one token I was waiting on was the teddy bears. I had had all of his ears tokens for like 2 days. I was, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. But yeah, no, that's cool. So you had a pretty good week. Awesome, and then we'll talk more about the tower challenge and how you did with that as we go a little bit on later in the show. Cool. My week in the kingdom was really good. As we just talked about, I'm still working on Michael Darling. I've got 13 out of the 20 ears, but I did pull the trigger and get the jumping jellyfish to help out with the ears. I just knew it was the right thing to do. It's such a cool attraction. It looks fantastic in the park. So I posted some pictures on our social media. So you should definitely check those out. But yeah, so I'm happy I got a new attraction, and Michael is he's in my sights. He's so close. So I'll get him soon. I'll be happy to welcome him. All right, another huge monumental achievement in the kingdom this week. I hit level 53. Woo! So I got
Level than I am though.
yes. Where are you at?
I think I'm like, what am I? 50. I'm barely 50, I think. 49. Yeah, 49.
Okay. 53 is a huge accomplishment because you get one gem. So
So that gem.
I still have to figure out what's going to happen with that gem. Maybe I'll hold a poll. We can all figure out what's going to happen with that. But all right. Enough of that. But really, just side note, and I haven't said it in a while, but I wish your level meant something. It's not even about the magic and getting the one gem. It's like I wish your level meant something. Like I wish there was something to it. There is no point to it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that at some point there was a point.
Yeah, probably.
But there's no point to it right now. So hopefully, in one of these updates, they figure something out to deal with it. Just because, even for people like me at getting a level 53, but even like the lower levels, 1, 2, 3. I guess getting one gem back then was nice, but anyway, all right. So the magic grind continues. I talked last week I was about 1,000,000 magic, and I had Maximus out, and I had everybody out, and I was just grinding magic. Well, I did that this week too, and I really found that toward the end of the week, like up to around the end of the weekend, I was just having fatigue. My game once again was taking way too long to clear. Like every 2 hours, which is what I try to do, and send my characters out on activities. It took me like 15 minutes to clear all the magic, clear all the activities, and then send everyone back out. And it's just too long. Like I was just feeling fatigue. I was getting the side eye from my wife because she knew what I was doing and was getting frustrated. I was sneaking to the bathroom too many times. And you can't spend 15 minutes in the bathroom and then have to come out and explain it, right?
Yeah, especially the many times in a day. Okay.
So I started talking about it on Facebook and Twitter again, and I need to see. I want to grind magic and I want to make a lot of magic, so I have to try to find that sweet spot where I'm still making and earning enough magic every day, but I'm not burning out.
Right.
I had talked a little bit about how my comfy spot for playing the game was at about 70 to 80 characters sent home. But I don't think that will quite give me the magic gain that I want. So right now I have about 30 characters home. So I'm going to try to kind of see how that does for me. I'm thinking maybe 40 might be a good spot. But we'll have to see. Because I'm at 2 million magic now. So I made about 1,000,000 magic in a little over a week, in 8 days. So I'm making, including sending out people for leveling, I'm making over 100,000 magic netting a day. So if I could even get that to 90,000, 80,000 a day as a net, I think I'd be okay with that. because I still need to get to that 4 million mark. I feel like that's a big milestone right now. I feel like the next major land they release is going to be 4 million. So I want to get ahead of the game. Plus, I need to get Shere Khan to 10. And man, is he expensive to level. He's like 150,000 magic every time you want to put him up a level. So
I haven't even welcomed him. I can't pull that trigger yet.
yeah, he's like 800,000 just to welcome him. So and then he's like 150 each time you want to level him. So, but I need to get him to 10 because I have a bunch of platinum chests that I'm holding right now, because I don't want to get tokens. I've opened so many platinum chests and gotten Mother Gothel ears or Donald ears, and I don't want to open these 4 chests, and I still have so many attractions that I need to get, and then I'm gonna wind up with Shere Khan ears. Like, I just don't want to do it. It will get me so frustrated.
Yeah, that's so annoying to get those.
So I'll keep you all posted. If you're interested in discussing this a little bit more with me, we can start a chat on the Facebook page, and we can kind of discuss sweet spots and how you guys how much magic you guys are earning every day. I'd love to hear from each and every one of you. So join the group and let's talk about it. Okay, for leveling this week. We started the week in Chapter 2 of the Tower Challenge, so I continued to work on my upcoming Chapter 3 characters. Since we had the leaks, I was able to focus on all those characters. So Zurg, Mowgli, and all the Wreck-It Ralph characters were the ones that I really focused on. Now that we're in Chapter 3, though, I decided I really wanted to focus a bit on the Lion King characters. So if you look at the timing and the way that Game Loft's schedule has been going, I would really expect an event in the mid-month coming up. And then they usually last about a month long, their events. So you're looking at a little bit of a break and then probably a Tower Challenge at the end of July. Well, that kind of coincides with a movie that's coming out at the end of July. So The Lion King which I'm so excited for. Are you totally like amazed, psyched for this movie?
I was born the year it came out, so that movie is like so special to me. And my birthday is July 18th, and it comes out the day after.
Oh.
So that movie is like mine.
Yeah.
And every time a new trailer comes up, I tell my husband, look at it, and I watch it 5 times. I'm excited.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm out of all the movies they're releasing this year, that's the one I'm the most excited for.
Yes, for sure.
So I do think that there's going to be a Tower Challenge, and I do believe it's going to be a Lion King based Tower Challenge. And my theory is Mufasa is going to be the main one that you're going to get. These are all theories. This is nothing. This is just my guesses. That being said, I want to get my Lion King characters to 10. So they're all there. I have a bunch that have gone to 10. And I don't really want to collect many more tokens right now, because I have a feeling that BattleBots is going to be coming up real soon. So we'll figure it out. But anyway, all right. So that's it for my leveling. If you want to see who I'm leveling and you want to add your own accomplishments as well, then check out the awesome leveling thread in the show's Facebook group. All right. Lifetime Visitors Board. Everyone wants to know. I did break 100,000 last week. I'm at 97,020. So here we go. We're coming. 90,000. Here we come.
Nice.
All right. Enough of me rambling. Everyone wants to hear from Morgan. Newcomer tip of the week. Morgan, what have you got for us?
I have 2 actually. My first one is leveling. Level up your characters. I think so many people kind of overlook that aspect of the game. And then whenever a Tower Challenge comes around, I'm always seeing on like different groups, people asking if their level matters when it comes to the challenge, and it so matters. It doesn't matter when it's like, between 9 and 10, or if it's one, level off. But if you're looking at it from a level 5 versus a level 9, the coins you get back is gonna be so drastically different. And not only that, for gems, you get gems every time you level up. So if you're a free-to-play player, doesn't ever want to spend any money, this is a great way to build up your gem stockpile without ever having to spend any money. And then it for potions wise, it kind of sucks dumping all the potions, like at that time. But over time, you're going to be saving your potions because you have one less level to pay for. And all these people that have like 3, 4, 5 million potions have their characters mostly level maxed out already. So they have really nothing to spend their money on anymore. And I think I think that level is so important, and I think it's just going to continue to get important as these power challenges keep getting harder and harder. And then I think my second one, I think for new players, I think it's important that you kind of understand that you're not going to complete your first event or your first tower challenge or even the first few. And I see a lot of people that are like, I just started a game 2 months ago, and are really disappointed because they're not going to finish. And I always tell them, do what you can, and it's okay that you don't finish because eventually you'll be able to finish one. And it gets easier and easier the more you play, the more things you have to offer.
Yeah, awesome. I completely agree. I mean, there's absolutely one of the most important things is leveling. It not only matters for tower challenges, but it also matters for regular events because you need to kind of have your characters, 5, 6, 7. It's a good kind of threshold point to have your characters just for the regular events, and just to kind of keep moving the storyline along. So you should never ever have your storybook open where you're not leveling someone.
Right.
Always manage that. Thank you, Morgan. Those were awesome tips. Daniel Guizar, good old friend of the show and co-host from last week, wanted to drop one more little thing on you guys. He was talking about the event currency to gem conversion rate. During a regular event, it's actually pretty good. You get for every 2,000 event currency that you have left over, you get a gem. In tower challenges, it's 4,000 to 1. And that's not really that great because you're not going to have a lot of that. But have you ever tried to spend gems on leveling up a character? You'll notice that you can buy their tokens with gems, and they are a lot of gems. 30, 40, sometimes 50 gems to purchase a token. So if you can spend your EC on Raja tokens right now, I think it'd be a much more valuable use of event currency versus trying to get maybe 2 gems.
Right, but it's important to remember not to buy that first token, only the second and the third one.
Right, yeah, that's a very good point. You want to definitely focus on those because what happens to that first one?
It will go away and it'll turn into, what is it, the oil lamp?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll turn into that common token. You don't want to waste all your EC on that one for nothing to show for it.
Exactly. But perfect. Couldn't have said it better. So, all right, awesome. Those are our newcomer tips of the week. If you have any questions and you're a newcomer or whatever it is, then by all means, hit us up on any of our social media platforms. We'd be happy to help you and answer your questions. Okay, so let's get into the game news. All right, so we have a couple of things to talk about before we get to the big thing of the week, which is, of course, the tower challenge that's going on. The first thing we have to talk to is about the happiness. So it's been a little bit quiet the past couple of days regarding the happiness update that's happened. Gameloft did say they were looking into it. I think that people have kind of settled into this just being the new norm. I still don't feel like it's at a good place. I've been going in every 2 to 4 hours because I just play that much because I'm up a lot at night with a baby, which of course Morgan knows about. And my work schedule allows me to because I quit my job and I have a new job coming. So I can kind of just, every 2 hours just kind of check. But I'm not going to, and with that, I'm barely keeping a static. Usually I'm actually dropping into the one below it. and then I have to either open some chests to do a couple of quick happiness things, and then I barely push myself into ecstatic. I do my collection, and then the next thing I know, I'm doing the same thing over again. When you go to sleep at night, if you have a decent night's sleep, which I know you haven't in a long time, Morgan, but I mean, if you sleep 6-8 hours, you're gonna wake up and have a serious hit to your stuff. And if you're someone that can't, like, you have a job and you can't check your game, like, maybe at your lunch break before you go into work, your lunch break, and then after work, so maybe every 4 hours, this is gonna be really hard to maintain.
Yeah, and one of the things that I saw on the Facebook groups was, to use your elixir to keep it up. But it's a nice option, but it's really not feasible to keep up. I mean, that's 350 every day that you're talking, and a lot of new players just can't do that every day. And I'm not going to spend my elixirs on keeping it up every single day. That's a lot.
Yeah, elixir is the hardest commodity to come by in this entire game, and I will never spend a penny of my elixir on to keep my happiness levels up. I'll fight as hard as I can to keep my levels up, but the elixir is just too valuable. So
I think I can keep my happiness in the 90s on the one that's under a static. What is that? Joyous, I think.
yeah, joyous, maybe cheerful. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. I that's usually where I sit at. But man, if I can break through that ceiling to get to ecstatic, I drop down within an hour because I just don't have happiness to grant.
Yeah, so it feels bad. I mean, for people who've been playing a long time, you were just used to that plus 10.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of ways, like if you look at the calendar. Well, we'll talk about the calendar in a minute. But anyway, so that's the happiness collection. So there's that. So we'll just have to see what happens. I think that the system is okay with the way they changed it. I feel like they just need to tweak it a little bit and make it drop a little slower. But I'm okay with the change if they tweak it.
Yeah.
Okay, another big thing that was asked this week, which I think is very important for everyone to know. So put your listening ears up because this is a big one. I confirmed with Gameloft because this question was asked to me. Okay, the happiness bonus that you get happens at the time of collection. So that means that if you want to get your happiness up as high as you can before you start collecting your activities and tasks. And so what does that mean? That means that if you log on and you're at 98% joyous and you have 3 chests to open that are ready to open, you want to open those chests first because when you get the 3 happiness, that will push you into ecstatic. And when you get to ecstatic, you get the plus 10% bonus. So that happens when you collect. It's not when you send the character out on the task. It's not what happens when you log into the game. It's when you're clicking on that checkbox. Whatever your happiness is at, that's the bonus you're going to get. And also, if you look at it when you're sending characters out, and you look at what they can collect, usually it will say under it, the chance plus 6%, chance plus 10%. So it reflects accurately the exact moment of what your happiness is. So all that to be said, first thing you should be doing is going in and getting your happiness up to the level where you want it to be, and then going around and sending Merlin to collect. Because remember that when Merlin collects, with his casting spell, you have a plus bonus chance on all of those collections as well. So you want to collect happiness first, then Merlin, then do your tasks. And that's the best way to get the best chance at tokens. Okay, so that's that. So one other thing. Are you in Brainloft? Morgan, did you join Brainloft?
I think I did. If I remember correctly, something came up and said that, like, well, now that I'm reading it, yeah, I did. I think you put in your email,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and then it sends you stuff, but I haven't gotten anything yet.
Okay, make sure you check your spam filter because I've gotten quite a few emails from them. Brainloft,
But
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'll check mine.
Yeah, I've gotten quite a few things, a few surveys. So for Brainloft, for the people who don't know, and you can go ahead and Google it and see if you could join it. It was a in-game pop-up that came that said, "Would you like to help the game out?" And you answered, you did a survey, and you joined Brainloft. Brainloft is basically GameLoft's new site that asks you questions about how you play, who you play with, and other things Disney Magic Kingdoms related. Doing these surveys can get you cool stuff. They've actually said that the surveys you can win some in-game items, just by doing these. And now we just got an email that they have some cool swag. They've got backpacks, they've got shirts and sweaters and like all sorts of different knickknacks and doodads and gizmos galore. So I totally recommend checking it out. They're giving away, all of these things. There's a big giveaway to welcome the swag. Go check it out, like their page, and get in it because you got to be in it to win it, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it helps GameLoft out as well. Okay, now we're going to go and talk about something else. I don't know if you've ever heard on the show, but there are Chinese hackers. And these Chinese hackers always find out some information. So we have the June calendar that leaked. We got it on June 1st. Obviously, we're 5 days in, but we have the whole calendar, which we've posted to our social media. And there are a couple of interesting things that we've noticed in there. So the first thing that we noticed is that there are some new types of chests. And these chests have happiness and magic inside of them. I don't know what they're called. We actually get the first one tomorrow. So that's Thursday at Rope Drop. So we will find out what that is. But every Thursday you're going to get magic and happiness. 3 happiness as your calendar reward. Every Tuesday you're getting 5 happiness. And then on Sundays you're getting you're getting happiness and something else or some happiness. So there's happiness all over the calendar rewards. So that's definitely intentional to go along with this new system. But that was the first thing that I noticed.
I think that's fair. I think considering the whole happiness change came through a lot of people, made a lot of people mad. I think this is a really great way to give people happiness to kind of balance it out a little bit.
Yeah.
To help them.
Yeah, and they did say that there are going to be new ways coming out with the next update for you to collect tokens, and I think they also said and to collect happiness. So
yeah.
So there might be new types of chests. Like this new thing that we're seeing. I don't know what it's called, but this new type of chest just might be something that you get instead of bronze chests.
Right.
When you search the kingdom, search the kingdom for chests, or when you get the random chests from collecting from activities.
Yeah.
There might be a new type of chest called a happiness chest, or whatever they want to call it, and it will have happiness and magic in it.
Right.
Or so who knows? But I think that might be a possibility. We'll just have to wait and see.
I think it's a good step forward. I think it makes the happiness change not be as terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Also, you know what? Sandy, talking in the chat, mentioned parades. And just circling back real quick, I always collect my parade at the end, unless I need that happiness. I always at the end, because when you have a parade out, you get a bonus chance to collect as well, right? It's 3%, I think.
Yeah.
More magic. So I do the parade at the end. Just something else to throw out there. All right. So there's 2 other big things on the calendar. Morgan, you want to tell us about the first one?
Is it the legendary chests?
Yes.
Yeah, my eyes are bad. Yeah, there's a what is that? Big Hero 6, and then Winnie the Pooh. The Big Hero 6 is on the 10th. Winnie the Pooh on the 21st.
Right. So, Big Hero 6 legendary chest on the 10th. Why would they be giving us a Big Hero 6 legendary chest? What do you think?
I think there's an event coming soon.
Yeah, everyone thinks so too, but this is literally right at the end of the tower challenge. Um, this is literally right at the end. So a lot of people have the speculation that we're going to be looking at an attraction event that was similar to the Animation Academy,
Yeah.
where we had battle bots.
Oh yeah, duh. I forgot about those battle bots.
Battle
I
bots.
hate them.
How could you? You didn't forget about them. You blocked them out of your memory. There's a big difference between them. So, yeah, the theory is that there's going to be some sort of a battle bots type event, and we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully, it's there's the one. There were two attractions that they announced. One of them was Slinky Dog Dash, and the other one was the Star. It was like the Star Academy or the Star something.
Yeah.
It's another attraction. I had the name on my head and now I've completely forgot it. YouTube chat, remind me what it is. But anyway, that attraction is going to be what I think is going to be a part of BattleBots. This is all just speculation, but I think that will be a 5-day event. I think that will go from Monday through Friday of next week. So then, when's the next legendary chest? Can you see that with your
21st.
21st? And what day is that? That's
Was it Friday?
Friday. Yeah. So when do typically what day do events usually begin on? Thursdays. And when do you get your legendary chests? Fridays. So, if Gameloft keeps with what's going on, this is how I foresee the future. I see the Tower Challenge ending, Bo Peep's costume becoming available, BattleBots happening from the 10th through the 14th with the new Star whatever attraction. And then we're going to start seeing teasers during the BattleBots event, little teasers and things. And then I would expect on Friday the 14th, when the BattleBots event is ending, I would expect for a live stream on the 14th, which is Friday. And then they will tell us what Update 31 is going to consist of. And then there's going to be lots of big changes, supposedly, for Update 31. I mean, lots and lots. Like, this might be like a game-changing type of update. That's at least how they're kind of advertising it, so it's a little exciting.
I'm a little nervous for it. I'm afraid of what they're going to be changing.
Yeah, it could be very, very game-changing. And so then my guess is live stream on the 14th, and then we're going to see the patch on Tuesday the 18th. And then we're going to get the event starting at Rope Drop on the 20th. And then we're going to get, of course, our legendary chest at Rope Drop on the 21st, which is Winnie the Pooh. Star Adventurer. Thank you, David, in the chat. The Star Adventurer is the name of the attraction. But, so that's what I'm guessing. So Winnie the Pooh will be the helpers for this event coming up. So get your Winnie the Pooh. I've been saying get your Winnie the Pooh characters up because I think they're going to be balanced. But you're going to want to start working on them, kind of keep them in the back of your mind for the upcoming event. If you have them. If you don't, I'm sure they will be available during the event. So I guess my question. So let's talk a little bit about what's to come. BattleBots. What's your thoughts on a BattleBot event after the Tower Challenge for the Star Adventurer?
I don't want it. I'm really not a fan of those because I don't like, just after I come down from an event that is so time consuming, like a tower challenge. I really like to just chill out and let my characters and get to love my characters again. And I really don't I really only participate in them enough to get whatever character legendary chest they're offering. And then once I get that, then I kind of just, if I get it, great. If I don't, oh well. Which I haven't gotten any of the buildings because I just kind of quit. So that way, when it's time for a big event, I'm not so burnt out.
Yeah. I have to kind of agree. I mean, they want to keep us busy, right? Like
Yeah,
that's how they keep us, engaged. But I mean, it would have been nice to have, a week and a half, off or so, maybe closer to 2 weeks between the end of this tower challenge and the next event, especially because we have permanent content coming.
yeah,
It's a lot. I mean, because I'm gonna want, if the Star Adventurer is gonna be the grand prize, I'm gonna want to go for it. But it's just a lot. Um,
and harder for it. I mean, it's hard for the new players, but for people that are kind of like us, where we're not done, but we're not way new, it really is a lot. So, like for me, now I'm gonna be working on Dumbo and Toy Story, and then now I gotta go and try to get this building. And it's like something's gotta give, and it's gonna be that building.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see how that pans out. Let us know. What your thoughts are on that and a possible new event.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have on the 20th, most likely a new event beginning with Winnie the Pooh as the helper. Now, we already got the Toy Story permanent content in the game, so we know that it's coming. That being said, there's nothing tying us to Toy Story 4, considering that that's when it's coming out.
Right.
So what do you think they're going to throw at us? What do you think the event was going to be? If there is one, so I guess here's two questions for you. Okay, ready, Morgan?
Mhm.
First question is, what would you want it to be if you could have another event? And two, what do you think it's going to be?
I so badly want Hercules. I th- I want Phil in my kingdom so bad. But I think it might be Pocahontas or Brave, because I know that they in one of the live streams they said that, sure, they said by the end of the year we would have all the princess costumes, or that they said something about the costumes being like we're going to get them all soon. And so I think their priorities are the princess movies to get those out of the way. And so I think it's going to be one of those. I think Disney Girl did a prediction video for Pocahontas. I haven't watched it yet, but so it'd be nice to get Pocahontas. I'm not a big Brave fan, so I'd rather Pocahontas.
Okay, I liked Brave. I actually like Brave more than Pocahontas. So I'll go on the Brave train. You can go on the Pocahontas train, and we'll see who wins.
Ah,
We're all winners, though, right?
oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, it's interesting. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's at least what we have. That's the information we have for you. If you want to talk about it a little bit more, you know where to find us. Hit us up on our social media. Join our Facebook group. Let's have a discussion about it. We want to hear about it. We want to hear from you. You guys are what makes this community awesome. Okay, so that's what we have for the June calendar rewards. And now it's time to wrap up that stuff. Throw it away. And now get into the Tower Challenge. All right, so last week we talked about Chapter 1, and we talked about what was going to be going on in Chapter 2. Let's do a quick recap. So we have Raja as the Tower Challenge Grand Prize. The Sultan is a premium character available for gems. You could spend 300 gems on the Sultan, or you could buy the Sultan bundle for $9.99, which gets you the Sultan, enough tokens to get the Sultan to level 2, which you need to get for Coco, and 2 Raja tokens that you'll each need from Chapter 2 and Chapter 3, which are the torn fabric and his ears. Additionally, there's a cocoa bundle available. You can get a cocoa for $1.99, which is something new that they're doing, and I think that's awesome. And so those are all good things. So here's one new thing that I want to get your thoughts on. What did you think about the mystery reward that was added into the Tower Challenge?
I really liked it. I thought it was something fun. It was something different, and everybody, one of the main complaints is the cocoa. People, that it takes way too long to get a cocoa. I think that's just one extra way to get it. I will say, maybe I'm just too tired to function, but I couldn't ever understand when it was going to be ready again. I would check when it was at 24 hours and it still wasn't ready. I checked like every 4 and then 2. Like I checked all the different, what I felt like milestone time frames, and it never seemed to be ready around those times. So I was like, is this just random? Or because it really seemed to have a rhyme or reason as to when it would be ready again.
Okay, so it becomes so one. Yes, I agree with you. I love it. I think it's a great thing that they did for the game. It becomes available every night at Bankers Hours, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's the little nickname that I like to give it. When your gems refresh, when you can watch your videos for gems, and when you can watch a video after you open up a bronze chest to get another bronze chest. All of that happens at 8 p.m. Eastern every night. So just keep your eye on that. As long as you open it within a certain window, but I always open I always open mine between 8 and 9 p.m. every night, and it always resets at that same time. But I'm pretty sure I know at 8 o'clock on the dot it resets for me. So
interesting.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's a once a day thing. I think it's awesome. I'm really happy they introduced it. It's a great way to get 15 cocoa over the span of an event, which is huge. So, yeah.
I think it would be neat if they get up a skill level and added some of the character tokens in there too. Tower Challenge, or even for helpers. So what this week is is it the Ralph characters? Like if you got one of the tokens to help level them up.
Sure. Yeah, I expected a mystery reward to actually be a mystery, not a token every week, not a cocoa every day. So yeah, I think it would be kind of cool if there was even if cocoa was like a 50% drop, and then maybe like you said, like a token or something would be cool. But yeah, no, it's nice that they introduced it. Listen, more stuff for free is always nice. I don't mind watching a video for 30 seconds, or at least hitting the play button and then putting my phone down for 30 seconds. But all right. So that is the sum up of that. So the Tower Challenge helpers, Chapter 1 was Aladdin. Chapter 2 was Frozen. Chapter 3, Wreck-It Ralph. So let's pick it up with Chapter 2 where we left off. So in Chapter 2, there was a bunch of stuff available. You could get the Radiant Chests. They were available in Chapter 2 only. You could get them for 30 gems each, or $4.99 for a bundle of 6. They contained cocoa, tokens to level up the characters, and the Minnie Mouse Wishable Stand. Did you wind up with a Minnie Mouse Wishable Stand?
I didn't, which I'm not that sad about.
That's a common sentiment. These stands didn't seem to be get people overly ecstatic to want to get them. Then Aladdin chests became available. Were still available for the entire event, and they will be for the whole event, and for the usual price. And then Frozen chests became available in Chapter 2. The Olaf and Ice Cream Stand bundle for $3.99 became available. And then, of course, you had the Aladdin quests, which were still available for the whole event. The Frozen quests became available. And then, so that's that stuff. The Chapter 2 reward for completing Chapter 2 was the grilled 3-cheese sandwich stand. I had one of those down in Toy Story Land, and it was awesome. Did you get the stand, Morgan? Did you complete the chapter?
I did. I got the stand, I think 3 days in or something. It didn't take me that long.
Awesome, great. Um, did you put it out right away? Does it found a home?
It is. I don't remember where it's at in my kingdom, but it's in there somewhere.
But it has a home. Okay, and cool. And then the second token fabric was introduced. That was the torn fabric, and it was 450 EC, which was slightly easier than the previous tower challenges by about 100 EC. So they did make it a little easier. So the helpers for Chapter 2 were the Toy Story characters. So you had Woody, Bullseye, Ham, and Rex. You had Peter Pan characters, which was Hook, Michael, Darling, Tinkerbell, and Wendy. You had Pirates of the Caribbean. So you had Will, you had Jack and Tia. Then you had the whole entire Frozen cast as your helpers. So that was Chapter 2. So let's talk about Chapter 2 for a minute. So what were your thoughts on who they picked as the characters, how the pacing went, the tokens, the grilled cheese, 3-cheese sandwich stand? Like, tell me your thoughts so far on the Tower Challenge up through Chapter 2.
Well, I liked it. I don't think it's getting to them, but it was a lot easier. And I think maybe using the Peter Pan characters was a little bit of a jab for newer players, but luckily for me, I had all of them at, either maxed out or at level 9, except Michael. So for me, it was really, really easy. And in fact, at the end of the first day, I had all the tokens already for this second fabric token, which I never had that before. I've never gotten the second token so fast. So I thought the pacing was good, and I thought whenever I was, kind of watching the Facebook group, it didn't seem like a lot of people were having a hard time too. It seemed like a lot of people were okay with how it was going.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Absolutely. I felt that the pacing was good. I feel that the amount of cocos you received from doing the quests, if you had the Aladdin characters and if you had the Frozen characters, getting those cocos was a significant advantage. Getting the daily mystery reward, which wasn't so much of a mystery, was a big advantage. So people were well into Chapter 2's EC in Chapter 1. People were coming into Chapter 2 with a ton of EC.
Yeah, I mean, almost 10,000.
Yeah. And so people were able to buy, all the torn fabrics and, just have ears to work on, or even more. I think the cast of characters was interesting. I think it was definitely a change up to throw the characters from Peter Pan early. That being said, everyone has Tinkerbell, right? So everyone's got Tink. So and most likely Max. So you could just have been blown your cocos in Chapter 2, and just kept sending Tink out. So it's interesting, but you can work around it.
Yeah.
But it was definitely characters that I would think would be more of a Chapter 3 set.
Right.
But and then you talk about the torn fabric. I'm sorry. So we were talking just about torn fabric. You couldn't purchase ears yet in Chapter 2. But yeah, people were able to buy a lot. So and I finished early as well, and I was able to just start pounding out more EC for ears. Going into Chapter 3. So I felt, and it was 100 EC cheaper. It was 550 in the last 2 tower challenges. So, when you're talking about 25 tokens at 100 each, you're talking about 2,500 EC cheaper than it would cost you. And that's a significant difference. So, yeah. All right, so anything else on Chapter 2?
No, I thought it was great. Like I said, I've never had a Chapter 2 go so easy, which really scared me for Chapter 3.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. So Chapter 3 we were all a little nervous about going into it, and we did not need to be. So which is a great thing here. So chapter 3 begins, and we now have the new chests. They are ruby chests. Ruby chests are available in chapter 3 only. They are 30 gems each, $4.99 US dollars for a bundle of 6. As usual, they contain Coco's tokens to level up characters from the set, and this time the Mickey Ice Cream Wishable Stand. Did you get a Mickey Ice Cream Wishable Stand?
No,
Okay. You don't sound terribly disappointed.
I'm not.
Okay. I did not get one either, and I share the same sentiment. I don't know. They weren't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
There are other stands that I've gone goo goo gaga over, like the Dumbo stand. We don't even want to talk about what happened with the Dumbo stand. But, I don't know. I didn't even know what a wishable was until Daniel told me on the last episode. So
Yeah.
Did you know what a wishable is?
No.
Okay, my point exactly. All right. So Wreck-It Ralph chests became available for the usual price as the chapter began. And then there was a bundle. It was the Calhoun and Burnt Pie Stand bundle. Burnt Pie Stand was one of the Wreck-It Ralph concession stands that was introduced during that event. And you could get that for $3.99. The Wreck-It Ralph quests became available for the remainder of the event, but it didn't seem like there were too many.
Thinking that too. There was only like 2 or 3 maybe.
Yeah, it was like exactly, like 2 or 3, and like I feel like, and I was reading it, I feel like it just kind of stopped. Like it was just very awkward, I think, but it was very short. I was expecting more, a little bit more storyline from that.
Yeah, me too.
So there was that. The Frozen. Okay, so we had the Wreck-It Ralph quests. The third token is the Raja ears, and so what we were all scared about was not so bad. It was actually 50 ECs cheaper than the previous events. It was only 600 EC per ear. And 25 ears needed. So again, cheaper, easier, like yay, right?
Yeah. And it was especially easier if you bought the Sultan bundle, because then you only needed 23.
Ah, that's right. Exactly. So that's 1,200 EC cheaper. All right, and then the Tail Shake stand is the Chapter 3 reward. So let's talk Chapter 3. So let's talk about first, let's talk about Raja and, how that went for you. Let's talk about the Chapter 3 reward, what you thought about the characters. Let's talk real quick the characters. It was Mickey and Friends and Wally in the first slot. So you had Goofy, Eve, Wally, and Pete. Mm-hmm. In the second slot, you had Toy Story and Jungle Book. So you had Buzz, Zurg, Mowgli, and King Louie. In the third slot, you had Rapunzel and the fairies. So you had Flora and Merryweather, along with Flynn. And then you had the Wreck-It Ralph cast. So talk to me. What did you think about Chapter 3? We're in the midst of it. We have 2 days left. Less than 2 days. So where are we? What do you think?
I knew this one because of the leaks. I knew this one was not going to be my strongest one, because everybody else is at a high level except Mowgli, because they are so expensive and I just don't want to drop that much money on them to level them up. But my Wreck-It Ralph characters were, I think my highest one was Ralph at 9, but he was the only one that high. Everybody else was like 7 and 6 and even 5. So I grinded really hard and used all my cocoa on chapters 1 and 2 to get ahead. And that made it to where the first day, by the end of the day, or by the end of the second day, I was able to get Raja's tokens and then welcome him into my.
Awesome. Very cool. So you have Raja, you've welcomed to the kingdom. What is going on with the Tail Shake stand? Are you going for it?
I was because I really liked it and thought it was super cute. But since I got him, and I got him before I had even gotten that third milestone, the 1,000 EC, I'm still not even at that. So I just kind of decided, you know what, since we've got an event coming up and whatever in between, I think I'm just gonna kind of take it easy. I send my characters out because I don't like having the icon at the top with exclamation point. So I keep sending them out, and then I'll buy his second and third tokens to help level him up. But I just was like, it's just not really worth it. I wake up in the middle of the night to feed my baby, and so I kind of get on and play then. But I'm not actively grinding for it. If I get it, that's awesome. But if not, I won't lose sleep over it.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it though.
So yeah, chapter 3 for me, I knew was going to be pretty strong. So I was conservative on my Coco. Going into it, I felt confident that I was going to have enough EC that I didn't need to worry about the Coco, but I was just more worried about points for the stand. That's where I was kind of saving the Coco for. So the EC wasn't something I was really concerned about. And yeah, so I've just been going at it. I did welcome Raja. We all kind of welcomed him around the same time. I think I was day 2, and very happy to have Raja in the kingdom. Super cute.
Yeah, I love him.
So glad to have him there. He only has a 4-hour quest to get 1 lamp. So he's kind of worse than Maximus right now.
But the Sultan is 6 hours to get that same lamp.
Yeah, well, the Sultan's out collecting cocoa. He shouldn't be collecting lamps right now. But I'm sure Raja will get better as we go along. But I'm super happy to have him. Super happy to have completed that part of the tower challenge. And the only thing that is left, like we talked about, is just going and trying to grind for the stand. I'm going to take a peek right now real quick and see where I am. I am at... okay, I'm doing good. I'm at 42,000 out of 52,000. And there's a day and a half left. So I'm in good shape.
Nice.
So hopefully I'll get that wrapped up and I can kind of stop worrying about this event.
Yeah.
It would be nice, to kind of sneak in there and get a top 25. But we'll talk about that in just a few moments. Daniel Raja is to get the 4-hour lamp. It's good to have you here, Daniel. Good to see you, buddy. He's worse than Maximus right now. That's a big statement. I won't put him in. I still won't send him home though. He still gets to hang out for a while. Okay, so anything else you have to say about chapter 3?
No, I liked it.
Yeah, very good. Good way to end the chapter. At least now you can try to take a break before Monday. Take a few days off and get ready for battle bots. But okay, the only other thing to mention is that you get 12 gems if you welcome Raja and you have the rest of the Aladdin collection. It's just the extra bonus for completing the collection. So it was a nice little bonus on top of that. So that's it. That's pretty much the end of the event. So yeah, I mean, we can recap next week and talk about just, kind of a sum up with my next co-host, who will be Michael Nguyen from the Disney Magic Kingdom's Premier Group. I'm super excited to have him on next week. So we'll wrap up the Tower Challenge, and then we'll talk about whatever's going on in BattleBot Haven. All right. So let's move on into the event of the week. Okay, so the event of the week during Tower Challenges, the events are basically getting points by sending your characters out to challenge the tower. So we talked last week that there was one awesome new thing where the Maleficent Horn Stand, traditionally I always tell people, go for it in Chapter 1 because top 50 get it. Chapter 2, traditionally only top 10 get it. Well, this time in Chapter 2, the Maleficent Horn Stand got easier than rank 1 to 10. It became actually top 50. it was the exact same rewards as Chapter 1, which is very rare. So that was a really nice of Game Off to give people the opportunity to get the stand and make it a little bit easier. So I placed actually rank 18. I was actually rank 5 for a while, and then I just kind of laid off on the Coco toward the end of the event, and I wound up rank 18. So I got another horn stand. So I'm super excited about that. How did you do in Chapter 2?
I didn't get the Maleficent stand. But I was in the second. So I think I was like rank 100 something or whatever. But I didn't really care that much for the stand because I already have it. And so I really only cared about the EC. It's funny though that you say that it's easier in chapter 1. The time that I got my Maleficent stand, I got in chapter 2. And I found it a lot easier because in I always find the leaderboards that I'm on, they're so aggressive to get that first ranking. So they're gemming like crazy. And then by chapter 2, they're kind of, I already got it. It's not that big of a deal. So there isn't as much gemming. So when I did it, I gemmed to get, like I sped up my tower to get into that top, and then just kept sending my characters out as normal to maintain it. And I ended up getting it really easily.
Awesome.
But this time I didn't really care that much.
I've heard a lot of people just say that Chapter 2 has been easier for them to get the stand as well. Because Chapter 1 people do go a little crazy. But yeah. No, I already have the horn stand. I'm just really I really think that I like 700 elixir. So that's just the hardest commodity in the game to come from. So
I get that.
So, all right, so that's Chapter 2. Chapter 3, they continued to make it easier. Normally, again, it was top 10, but they made it top 25, which was, again, better for people. And then the EC and Coco rewards changed to gems and magic. So ranks 1 through 25 got 15 gems, 3,500 magic, along with the horn stand. 26 to 50 still got 15 gems and a little less magic. And then the ranks below got less gems and less magic. So I am currently about rank 43. And I've been kind of fluctuating around there. So I think that if I push hard at the end and I keep at it, I might be able to sneak into the top 25.
Might.
But we'll have to see. I'm not going to lose sleep over trying to get another horn stand. But if I think about how many gems would I spend to get 700 elixir, I have to kind of think about that and be like, is 60 gems or, 80 gems, like, is 80 gems worth it to speed up, 10 times, the tower, like, would it be worth it? So I have to see, we'll have to see where I'm at and see what I want to do. Find out next week on Around the Kingdom. So we'll see. All right. So that's the event of the week. Let's move on. All right, guys. It is time for the Disney dad joke of the week. So I was talking to my daughter, and she asked me who my favorite Disney villain was. So I said, Captain Hook is single-handedly my most favorite villain.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Didum. If you didn't,
I laugh every time I see that.
If you didn't get it, think about it again. All right. All right, single-handedly. Let's move on. All right, here is our next segment, and it's one that I think is very relevant for you and I. So, I guess the question is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is a segment where we talk about gem characters and attractions, otherwise known as premium characters and attractions. And this week we're going to be talking about the Jumpin' Jellyfish. Jumping Jellyfish is an attraction that was released with the Easter Earth Day update on the 12th of April, 2017. It can be purchased with elixirs, which are 15,000 from the Merlin shop. Now, Jumping Jellyfish is a Power Tower parachute jump style ride at Disney California Adventure and the Disney Resort in Anaheim, California, and also at Tokyo Disney Sea at Tokyo Disney Resort in Japan. Jumping Jellyfish was the first attraction exclusive to Merlin's shop and not purchasable with either gems nor magic. The Jumping Jellyfish does generate gold trophies during the Striking Gold mini events. Again, it costs 15,000 elixir to purchase. It builds instantly, and it collects every 8 hours, and it gives you a chance to earn Michael Darling's ears, Scar's little mouse token, and the common fairy godmother little wands that she has, or those little, right? They're fairy godmother wands, right? So the size is 10 by 10, which is small. So it's a nice, easy attraction to place in your park. Yeah, so that's about it. So you have the collection for Michael Darling ears, which are legendary. You have Scar's mouse, which is epic. And then you have the fairy godmother little wands, which you're disappointed at getting if you need those. And yeah, it collects gold trophies. So tell me your thoughts on what do you think about how much it costs, about what it looks like. I mean, tell me everything about Jumping Jellyfish, and then tell me what you think. Is it worth it?
I think it's so cute. I think it's so colorful and fun, and I think the price on it isn't that bad considering a lot of the other ones are like 30,000. I mean, the other cheap ones are with the Aladdin rides. So I think it's priced really well. And I think, especially for the tokens that you get, I can't remember the magic wand because I've had Fairy Godma maxed for so long. But just for Michael and Scar's token alone, I think the price really, really good because those are hard to come by. I mean, it's a legendary and an epic. They're hard to come by, and I think the attraction really is worth it because, like we said earlier, you and I started from Michael literally on the same day. I got him in 2 weeks because of the attraction, and I originally got it because it helped get the mice for Scar, and I was trying to max them out. So when I got it, the only token that it could collect for me was Michael. So I think that might have helped with my drops too, but I think it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, we started the same time. You collected in 2 weeks, and I'm still going. So I've definitely picked up a couple from that attraction since then, but it's made a significant difference. I love the size. 10 by 10s are always really nice to add to your kingdom. They don't seem overly bulky. It's not like the Kraken, which makes me cry, or Omnidroid City, right? So it's a nice, small, easy attraction to put in. It collects trophies. I mean, when you talk about leaderboards and leaderboard prizes and things you can get from them, I mean, every one of those gold trophy collectors counts. But this one's a slow one. It's only 8 hours, but still, it makes a difference over the course of an event. If your event is 2 days long, it's 1624. That's 6 trophies that you can collect over the period of an event, which might make the difference between whether you get something or not. And then the tokens. I mean, the Michael Darling ears tokens and the Scar mouse tokens are really hard tokens to collect for. They take a long time to collect for, and anything that helps with those collections is worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
The price is expensive, but it's the middle of the line. They have 7,500 elixir attractions that are the Aladdin ones. They have the 15,000 ones, and then they have the 30,000. but I just felt like this was going to give me the most bang for my buck right now, even though I have a lot of the 30,000s left. So yeah, is it worth it? Yes, I think so. What do you say? Give it a thumbs up
Very
for is it
much.
worth it?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. All right. Moving on. All right, it's feature report time. Feature report. Feature report. Feature report. Feature report is a segment where we talk about ideas of features we want to see implemented into the game. We actually have quite a few this week that I really like. So let's get right into them. From Elliot. Elliot said, I think a great feature would be a replay dialogue button. A lot of times, in my case, and in my case too, Elliot, I didn't read all the dialogue, so I think it would be helpful for people that might have had it skipped over. I'm a frequent offender of just when I'm tapping and going through my kingdom, I'm tapping and then I'm just going so fast that I missed the first two whole pieces of dialogue, and I wish I could just hit back and
Me too.
and even just start that one over, let alone being able to go back and look at other people's dialogue.
Yeah.
Do you find that happens to you a lot, Morgan?
Yes, because I play with my 3-year-old a lot, and she just taps because she wants to get through to giving them high five.
Yeah. Yeah, so I agree. I think that would be an awesome idea. Thank you, Elliot. I hope that they do that. Okay, this is my favorite feature report that we've got in a long time. This comes from an awesome contributor to our group. His name is Usama. And Usama said, it would be awesome if the odds or chances of getting an item would be added to token drops from the different tasks and attractions also, just like the chests do. Usama then posted some pics of this that he photoshopped into the group that displayed these percentages. I need to start getting a slideshows for the YouTube for the people watching. I know people listen on the podcast, but okay, so here's an example. He had the Jafar task that dropped an Aladdin common sword and with a 60% next to it. And then the Abu Ears uncommon token that also was available from that task with a 40% next to it. So it was pretty cool. Like when you look and you have like a task and you have to click that little treasure box to see the 2 items that it drops, you just see like common token, rare token, right? But it doesn't display the odds of you getting, like if you're going to get a drop, what are your chances that, you're going to get whatever. So in this case, he had like a 60% for the common sword versus a 40% for the Abu uncommon ears. So like if it was a rare, then it would be like 80% common sword, 20% rare, just so you can kind of visualize that. Another example he had was the Ursula's Lair, the attraction, dropping the common shell token with 63%, the legendary shell necklace at 7.5%, and then Ursula's ears at 29.5%. So, like, it's just a nice way to visualize how to do that. And how to see that and visualize it. Please note that all these numbers that I just spat out are not real numbers and real percentages. They're just examples. So don't come to me and say, why is this not dropping? You said it was this percentage. These are just examples. But I think that it would be really, really cool to see that visually next to our items. Even like if it said 60% and then it had like the plus 6% underneath it or however they do it. But I think it would be cool to visualize the percent of what a drop is. Just so like when you have an epic drop, what's your odds? Like, is it 10%? Is it 20%? Like how often do they drop? So
Yeah, I love this one.
So yeah, thank you, Osama. I love this one. Stacy in the chat says, if you reload the game when you miss dialogue, it will come back. Disney Girl did it on her live stream. I did not know that.
I think that's when the dialogue is already happening.
So like if you're in the middle of the dialogue but haven't high-fived them?
Yeah, I think so. I could be completely wrong, but I think so because that kind of happened to me when I had my phone and then my kid took my phone and got out of it, and so I had to get back in and it started again.
Huh. I would love to see someone post a video of that because I think that that's really, really important information for people to have.
Yeah.
So anyone listening, or any content creators that are hanging out here, let's take a video of that. See if we can prove it, and so we can have the exact steps so that we can post and say, if you've started and you've tapped through a couple of dialogues and you've missed it, you want to start over. These are the steps to take, and I would love to be able to
I
do
don't,
that.
I don't think it starts the whole conversation over. I think it just starts like um the person that was talking, it starts theirs over, if that makes sense. It's like it wouldn't. I don't think it does the whole thing. But like if Ariel and Ursula were talking, it wouldn't go from the beginning of the whole conversation. It would go from like it when it closed out with Ursula talking, and then it would come back with Ariel saying what she had to say, and then going back to Ursula. I think
Well,
I could be
we
totally
got to find out. Elliot Feld says when you're in the middle of the dialogue, yes. So let's get this proven. I wanna see it.
yeah,
I want to report on this. This is a big report. See, so Elliot said you were in the middle of the dialogue. Yes. So I guess you're more talking about being able to replay it back in the, in previous ones. But I'm still very curious about the ones that you're on because
yeah,
that's a big problem of mine. Like if you can get all the way to the point where you could high five the guy and not high five them and then close out and reopen it and get the whole dialogue to read again, that would be big.
yeah, for
So,
sure.
okay. So I have homework for everyone listening. Okay. And whoever gets this, whoever the first person to get this submitted to the page with a video of how this happens is going to get a super big shout out on next week's show. All right. From Joseph. I wish they would offer all the new stands that are in the ruby chests for gems or extra event currency. Morgan, what's your thoughts?
I yeah, I think that would be neat. Are we talking like the
The wishables in this case. The wishable stands.
I want those.
Right, but
But yeah, I think that would be neat for people, and I think that would be a nice little extra source of income for them because people, I mean, not to bring a Dumbo again, but people that want the Dumbo stand.
well, I don't think this would be an extra source of income for them because I think that the way they do it right now is specifically designed so that they maximize profits for people that want those.
Yeah.
So I don't think that making them available for gems or extra EC would be profitable.
No, I didn't say extra EC part. Gems, I think though, because if somebody really wanted it, they could go and buy some more, like buy gems to get it. And if they didn't have enough gems,
But gems are easy enough commodity to come by.
I guess that's true.
So I don't know. I think Joseph. I think that it would be great. I think that if they offered it for gems, they would probably be the 90 gems or even more.
Yeah.
Basic and for extra EC, like someone in the chat said, like for 10,000 or 15,000 EC. So maybe they could do that, but I just it would be nice, but I just don't see that happening. Okay. All right. From Starmaster, he said, I think they should put in a reward for your anniversary in the game. So it's like an extra special way to say thank you for playing the game. So, yeah, I think that'd be cool. Either for the first day that you started or even for 365 days consecutively.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I agree. That would be a nice addition. Thank you, Starmaster. I think that'd be cool. All right, if you have a feature report that you'd like to see implemented, please write in using any of our various social media platforms and let us know. Your idea could be on next week's show. All right, so right now we're gonna around the community segment. Tom Wright, I spoke to him today. We're going to try to get something for maybe next week's show for a new concept. We haven't had an original Tom Wright concept on the show in a while. And I'm looking forward to, maybe what he could do for next week's show is give us a Brave or a Pocahontas one so that we could kind of, get a little hype for that. So I'll write to Tom and see what we could find for that. I'll put a little note in there to say Brave or Pocahontas. So another thing is that someone suggested a segment, and I'm always open to segments. I'd love for you for everyone here to write in for segments that they think would be cool for the show. Because is it worth it? Is going to go away after a while, after we talk about everything. So one of the cool things, because he got the grilled 3-cheese sandwich, and he said, I have this. He's like, but where in the kingdom does this go? And so I think that a cool segment, which he recommended, would be, where in the kingdom does this thing go? And we could talk about have the fan, the people in the group, pick out, do a poll and pick out something, and then we can talk about where in the kingdom should that thing go. So thank you, Jeremy, for the suggestion. And if you have suggestions, please, I'd love to hear it from you guys. So hit us up on our social media or our Facebook group. We'd love to hear you. All right, then community questions. We have one today, and it was from Den Macho, who is in our YouTube chat, and he wants to know, what do you think about trading concessions? And do you think that they should add trade into the game? So I've talked about this a little bit before, so I'm curious what you think about this, Morgan.
I like it. I think because today I just got my second or third hook concession stand, and so instead of melting it, I could send it to somebody who really wanted it. But then at the same time, elixir's so hard to come by that it's kind of nice to have extra stuff to away, so that way I can buy different stuff. So I like it, but then I don't like it at the same time.
Yeah, I think that there's pros and cons to it. I mean, from a player perspective, I don't think that there's anything wrong with it, right? I think it's a great idea from a player perspective, because it would be cool if you could link your Facebook friends, and then I opened up 2 Dumbo ears stands. Right, and then you really wanted one, and I could just either gift it to you, or you could send me over a hook stand that I could send you Dumbo stand, or however it is, so we can complete our collections a little bit easier. So I think from a player's perspective, I think it'd be great. Yeah. I think that the negatives to this, the things why this will never happen, right, is one, doing that loses revenue, right, because they want to have everyone going ahead and buying the Dumbo stand bundles, right? 2, you open up the ability for a black market, right? So someone could start a website called Disney Magic Kingdom's Items, right? And, they can create games, and they can say, okay, people could post their stuff. I have a hook stand, and I will sell it for $2. And then you could go on and you could PayPal someone $2. You friend them in Facebook. They gift you the stand, and you're done.
Yeah.
Right. So now you have a black market. You have all the crap that comes with a black market, and just lots of things like that just aren't so happy. Let's just say that could happen. So that being said, I think that this. While it's a great idea, I don't think that will ever come to the game. So someone had said that even Speedy Ultra said that I would love the add trade option, even if it's not a player versus player trade, and at least give the option to trade other things like Magic and EC for concessions instead of just gems or bundles. So that's kind of a cool idea too, or even in some role playing games, there's a shop guy. And you could go in and you could buy things or sell things in the shop. You could go in and there'd be 3 concessions, and they would change every, day or two. And then, possibly like, he'd be like, oh, well, if you want this concession, I'd like 2 burger stands and 5 gems or something, so they could do kind of cool things, I don't know. I think it would be cool to have some sort of not player versus player. And Den Macho, there's no way for them to control that. There's no way to lock it down. But all right, so that is it. Other things around the kingdom, nothing else to talk about there. We had 1 new 5-star rating. So thank you for the person who rated us 5-star. We did not get any new 5-star reviews in the USA. And we did not get any international as of this week because I get the international report monthly. So if we do get any more reviews, we will read them out on the show. All right, shout-outs. Morgan, you got any shout-outs this week?
No, to my kids. Thanks for being quiet.
All right. Well, my shout outs are to everyone who made it into YouTube chat this week. My shout out is to YouTube chat for just keeping it real and keeping it awesome. So, special shout outs to Sahar, Sharknado. I told you I'm always going to call you that. Den Macho, Elliot, Daniel, Stacy, Dran, everyone who participated. Stacy, David. I'm just trying to scroll here, but thank you to all of you guys and everyone who was watching today for helping make the show a little bit more fun. Next week's show, Michael Nguyen. He's going to have to tell me how to pronounce his last name. Michael joins us on the show. Finally, he is an admin of the Disney Magic Kingdom's premier game group, formerly known as Disney Magic Kingdom's in parentheses game. I've been wanting for him to come on for a long time, and finally his schedule is cleared up. And he's also an amazing, amazing park builder, just like Daniel. So I was super excited to, have him on because he's always posting his stuff, and really excited about that. So he'll join us next week, but he'll be joining us on Tuesday. So Around the Kingdom will be recording next week on Tuesday. All right. If you want to be more involved with the show, you can follow us on Twitter at ATK Podcast and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/ATK Podcast. Here you'll find out before anyone else about breaking news that we hear, information on contests and giveaways, when new shows are published, and of course my ramblings and photos from my day-to-day playing. The show's Facebook group is up, and it's a great way to easily interact with me and the other fans of the show to talk about our favorite game. The link to our group will be in the show notes, and you can also be found on our show's main Facebook page. Also, you can write into the show. Our email address is aroundthekingdompodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about the show, what's working, what's terrible, or any other topic you want to write in about. Or even if you just want to say hi, you can write in too. We are now on YouTube, so if you are not one of the people that's sitting here watching, then you can check us out, and you can see me and my awesome guests. So head on over, subscribe to our channel, like the video, and smash the bell to get notified when a new show goes live. The link to our channel will be in the show notes. If you want to help support the show, please head on over to iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, and leave us a 5-star review. Doing this is quick and easy, costs you nothing, but helps us greatly to be seen by other people so they can enjoy the show also. All 5-star reviews will be read at the end of every episode. Listening to the show is all we could really ask for, but if you do want to help support us in another way, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. We are halfway towards our first show goal that will help the production of the show, and it's a great way to show your support for about $1 an episode. All Patreons will get a special shout out at the beginning of each episode. Again, it's patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. The link will be in the show notes. Thanks again for joining us this week. I am Steve Squirrel. For myself and Morgan, we hope you have a great night, and we will see you around the kingdom next week.
Bye, everybody.
Awesome. We're still streaming, but the recording is over. AMM Tracker Nardo, I told you, you always get a shout out. You are Sharknado, because that's what I see whenever I see you. So you are Sharknado. So you already got a shout out. Summer White, thanks for joining us. Always appreciated. Dran, you might not be around in chat much longer because I'm going to quit playing. Okay, so go ahead and quit playing. See ya. I hope that you have fun with another hobby. Bye, Sahar. Yeah. Thank you, Stacy. Appreciate it. I had a good time. You guys were a lot of fun today. Woo! All right. Well, I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. We had a great time, and we'll see you around the kingdom.
Bye.